2022 started, and I think, finally in the year where everything will start opening again. I mean, countries are opening, people are starting to travel more, etc. At least I hope so, and I see in the January there's already some news that some countries are starting opening, starting to reduce the restrictions, etc, etc. So my hope for 2022 is to be more travel and more digital nomad year. And hence I'm recording the video about my top 10 destinations for digital nomads for 2022. All these cities I picked by the several criteria. First of all, I visited these places, all of them. I don't want to create the list where there are some places where I've never been and I recommend them. It's a little bit limited list because I visited only about like 30 countries. Yeah, I hope you will find some nice destination for yourself, or maybe discover some new ones. And also another criteria is of course internet access, because my channel is mostly aimed for digital nomads, for remote workers who live abroad and also travel with their laptop. So internet access in the availability is like general criteria, of course. Second criteria is openness of the country. I don't mean like open in terms of visas, because every citizen has its own rules for the visa, so check it on your government website or on the government of the country you're going. But in terms of like openness, kind of what's happening in the world right now, in that sense. And I have like around 7 places which are kind of open, and 3 more places which are closed. So I will tell you the cities first which are already almost open, almost for everybody, and then I will tell you about the countries which are still closed, but maybe they will open during the 2022. And next criteria is value for money, so which means like what you get for the money you're paying. I think it's actually one of the most important criteria for digital nomads to pick the destination where they're going, because you usually want to get like really good quality, really good infrastructure, really good internet access, safety, etc. But also you don't want to pay too much money. You don't want to go to like Switzerland or Norway, whatever. It's a great countries, but I mean we're kind of trying to save some money here. And yeah, that's my criteria basically, and let's go to the list. This list is not ordered in any like from the best to the worst, nothing like this. It's all 10 are great, and they all kind of equal. So first place is Tbilisi, Georgia. It's where I am right now, which is a really nice city, and we loved it being here for the last 6 months. We didn't expect anything from Tbilisi, and many people I'm talking to, especially foreigners, they kind of didn't know much about Georgia, and they like, is it a state in the United States, or they maybe heard of it, this country, but never like know what's inside of it. But it was a really huge surprise for us. We loved it so much. It's so different from anything we expected. We are from Russia, so we expected it could be like post-Soviet country, but it's so different. It has like, it's really nice internal culture, it has a great food, really nice people, so it's really different, and we really loved it. And I think in terms of value for money, it's one of the best countries in the world I've ever been to, because it's so cheap, but you also have a really very high quality of life, especially in terms of like safety, in terms of nice people, in terms of food, in terms of quality of accommodation, in terms of different areas around the city. So yeah, this is a great place to be, and of course, visa is also really good for most of the citizens. You can get 12 months without a visa. You can stay here without any restrictions. So really recommend checking out Tbilisi in Georgia. And if you like more like a coastal town, there is a Batumi here in Georgia as well. But I think it's a little bit more like chill, relaxed. So if you want to like visit some meetups, work from co-working spaces, meet a lot of like-minded people, Tbilisi is a little bit better, but you can check out both places. Next place is Prague in Czechia. I think Prague is an amazing city. I think for most of the Western countries, European Union are open if you have a vaccination, so you can go there anytime. So Prague is really nice place. We spent couple of years ago months there, and it's a really beautiful city, great architecture, great people, quite cheap city as well, especially compared to Western Europe, for example. And also the culture is really good there, a lot of foreigners, a lot of meetups, etc, etc. This is a really great place to be as digital nomad, so totally recommend to checking it out. And Another city in the European Union is Budapest, Hungary. We spent there a couple of months as well a few years ago, and we really love the city. It's so different from Prague. It's more a little bit Eastern Europe style city, but it's also really beautiful, a lot of stuff to do. You can travel around Hungary as well, and it also, as far as I know, open right now, so you can get there anytime. I would definitely recommend checking out this city. The prices are also not so high there. The city is quite small, so you can just live right in the downtown, and yeah, people are nice there as well, so I totally recommend checking out Budapest. Really nice digital nomad destination. Hey, now is a small commercial break. So if you're like me, enjoying reading different information, but you're tired from so many sources where you can get information or news from, like social media, YouTube, different websites, different blogs. We created the product specifically for you. We built it with my wife and launched it in December, so you have a chance to be one of our first customers. It's called Taco Digest, and you can check it out by the link below or on tacodigest.com. This product allows you to create an email digest specifically for you. You can add different sources from around the web or social media, create a convenient schedule specifically for you, and we will wrap them all in one nice email and send them directly to your inbox. So check it out by the link below and let me know if you have any questions about the product. Now back to the video. Next place is probably everybody already heard of it, especially in digital nomad community. It's Lisbon in Portugal, which is like #1 destination for digital nomads right now. It's full of foreigners right now, so it's maybe a little bit crowded. But in general, we lived there like 4 or 5 years ago, so it was a little bit more calm and the prices for the apartment was cheaper, but I think it's still a great destination. But if you don't like the crowdedness of Lisbon, you can check out other cities in Portugal, and the Portugal is great in the fact that it has so many cities around the country. You can live there. There's like hundreds of coastal towns along the coastal line, and there's a Porto, there's the south of Portugal, there's like many places, and everybody can find something for themselves. So definitely recommend checking out Portugal and Lisbon. And also, in addition to all the benefits you can get there, same as in Prague and Budapest, Portugal also have amazing weather. It's like a little bit like in California, I guess. So it's almost sunny all the year around. It could be like +16 in winter, which is really fine, I think. So Portugal is my #4 choice. The next 5th destination is Turkey, and specifically Antalya and Istanbul. I've been to both of these places, and to be honest, my love is more towards Antalya because it's a really nice coastal town, and if you're looking something to relax, to more have a chilly vibe, Antalya is the really great place to be. We've been there in winter and it was great. It was quite warm, it was really relaxing, some chilly vibes there, some sea vibes there, and yeah, really enjoyed the time there, and I think it's great for digital nomad destination. It's not like other places where you have like huge communities and a lot of people there, but it's more relaxing destination. So totally recommend checking it out. But if you want a more like different people, cultures, etc., you go to Istanbul, which is also quite great. A lot of people love Istanbul. I also think it's a really great city. These destinations are open, I think, for everybody. So definitely recommend checking it out at least for months, for a couple of months. Turkey is great. The next destination is also in this European region, but not in the Schengen zone, not in European Union. It's Kyiv in Ukraine. We visited it briefly for a couple of days, but we really loved the destination. It reminds me a lot about Moscow, the town where I lived many years in Russia. So Kyiv is definitely a great city, especially if you like big cities with a lot of people, and I don't know, this city vibe, it's like something I can't really explain, but I really enjoy this. It's quite cheap destination as well, especially if you're from Western countries, and I think it's open for most of the citizens. Definitely can recommend Kyiv. I've never been to other places. There's Lviv, which is also a really great destination, as I heard, but we've only been to Kyiv, so I can only recommend this city, and it's really amazing. I definitely recommend checking it out for at least a couple of months. Now let's move a little bit to Southeast Asia, and the country I recommend is Thailand. I think like almost everybody know that it's a great country for digital nomads, but especially Chiang Mai city. Not so many people visit it because it's not a touristic destination, but for digital nomads, for remote workers, it's a great place to be. There is a huge community. I think this city was one of the first nomad hubs around the world, and it's still great. There are so many like-minded people, communities, meetups going on there, and the city itself is also great. It's quite small and also have this northern Thailand vibe, local culture. It's not over touristic. You can travel around the region. There's a lot of great things. The only downside probably is you don't have access to the sea or to the ocean, but you definitely can rent the place with a pool. They're quite cheap in Chiang Mai. This is a place I definitely recommend you checking out in Thailand. I think Thailand now have like sandbox program, which you definitely have to see the requirements for, because there are some complications, but nothing like unavailable. So you can follow the rules and go there and then travel around the country. Now let's get to the places which are kind of closed. First of all, it's Vietnam, and specifically Da Nang city. I think Vietnam is the most shut down country in the world. They followed that path, kind of fighting with pandemic. They just closed, but the case is also not so high, so they're quite good managing all the situation. So maybe they will open during this year. If this is the case, I would definitely recommend you to checking out Da Nang. It's not a really big city, kind of small, and the vibe there is really nice. Kind of local, a lot of local cuisine, a lot of local people, access to the really nice beach, really cheap apartments. We even lived there in a hotel, and it costs like not so much money. Definitely recommend this place. Vietnam is really nice country, and Da Nang is a really great destination to visit. Next one is Taipei in Taiwan. Actually, I love everything about Taiwan. It's one of my favorite countries in the world, at least in top 3. We visited for like 2 weeks, but it was love from the first sight. So definitely recommend checking out Taiwan and Taipei especially. I think this country has a really great balance between modern society and kind of local Southeast or just Asia in general culture, and they mixed it together, making it not so like expensive like Singapore, for example, but also have access to a lot of local stuff, which we all love about Southeast Asia and Asia in general. Really recommend everybody visit this country. Amazing country, amazing people, amazing culture there, really close to Japanese culture, and I think they closed right now, but they also have several programs if you consider visiting for a long term. For example, golden visa, I think they have something like this. You have to follow some requirements, but then you can go there and live there for like several years. So yeah, this is my recommendation as well. And the last country is Malaysia, and specifically Penang Island and Kuala Lumpur. My heart in the Penang Island, because I really enjoyed time there, and the whole island is great. You can live in Georgetown, which is like small capital of the island, but we lived in the western part of the island. It was also great. You have access to really nice apartment buildings there, and I think Malaysia is really amazing country in terms of value for money, because they managed to create such a high quality of life, especially in terms of infrastructure, in terms of apartment quality, but they also remain the prices quite cheap. So you can consider even buying property there, and it's really not expensive. So if you like more island vibe, but not like island like Bali, but more like modern island vibe, I definitely recommend checking out Penang. If you want access to the big city, Kuala Lumpur is the way to go. Unfortunately, Malaysia is still closed, but I think there was a news recently about that they're stopping the pandemic in their country, so there's a maybe opening quite soon. Definitely recommend like writing down Malaysia to your bucket list and visit it one day. I think that's it. That's the whole list. Sorry if I didn't mention some countries, because I probably haven't been there or I didn't like it that much, but this is my top 10 places to go as digital nomads in 2022. But for 2022, we also planning to visit a new continent for us, which is Latin America, and we're going to Mexico and then down the whole continent, and we want to visit as much countries as possible. So maybe in 2023 I will record the video where like my top cities, and they're all gonna be there. Maybe I will love it so much. We'll see. That's what interesting being digital nomad, to discover new places, to live in different countries, to experience new things for you. I definitely recommend you to start this journey if you haven't yet. So good luck with that, and ask me any questions below if you have some. And thank you for watching, and give me a thumbs up if you like the video. Don't forget to subscribe, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.